What if they were both at the motel? What if he rented the room as per the hotel story? What if he did one of these numbers? Because this is normally what happened. I'm going to tell you the 411. A lot of times when a man and a woman is hooking up at a hotel or whatever the case is, what normally happens is this. The woman would either go to the motel to get the room ready because she know her and the guy is going to be there, or the guy will go get the room ready, and then he'll just tell the woman, hey, meet me up at room 35. Why? So that it don't look some type of way where they both entered the hotel at the same time. Can I get a witness? You understand? These are things that you must understand. And also, if you're sending me anything to Instagram, I cannot check that if I'm live streaming. I cannot look at anything while live streaming. This is why I keep telling people, when you send me material, don't send me material when I'm streaming, because I'm not going to check it while I'm streaming. Send me the information before I go live. That way I can find out what people are doing and what people are seeing and saying. Because I'm not going to go check to look at this and look at that. I don't do that. Because it takes me off my flow. You understand? Just like how I had to stop to say that, it's taking me from the points that I'm making. So now I got to double back and figure out what was I saying before that. It's interruptions like that. You understand? Now, where was I? You see what I'm saying? Where was I? What was I just talking about? This is why they say don't talk to a bus driver when he's driving. Because that causes an accident. Do you understand? Now, getting back to my point. There are many times, and not just many times, people do this all the time. If you're a brother and you met a sister or whatever the case is and you and her gonna hook up, she don't want to go by her place, you don't want to go by your place, so y'all go to the telly. Y'all do not walk into the telly together. The two of you do not walk into the hotel together. Nobody does that, unless you probably drunk. But normally, one person go, get the room, get the key, give it to the other person, and then you could just kind of go up to the room, and that way, it keep everything discreet. You get what I'm saying? Could it be, let's just think outside the box. Could it be that the wife and the husband may have just wanted some time away, or whatever the case is, or time to discuss whatever they wanted to discuss, and they didn't want to do it in the house? And for whatever reason, the husband may have rented the room so that the wife and him can discuss whatever it is, and all she had to do is just come to the motel because she had the key, and she could just go to his room. Think about that. And when they went to the room, allegedly, it could have been a situation where there was an argument. Something may have happened. And then, because of her panic, because she's nervous, that's why she went to the police in the morning on foot. You understand? She didn't call them. Why? Because she didn't want the record of that recording. Remember, in every situation when there's a crime, people call the cops and we could play back the tape. These are all public records. We can go and find audio recordings of various crimes. We can get the phone call and you can hear them on the phone saying, please, officer, come to my house. Something happened. We can get those tapes. She didn't want that tape. And for all we know, she may have been working with someone else. And they probably told her, don't call the cops. We don't want you on no tapes. Just tell the officers that he left the house and we'll handle the rest. It is unlikely that under these circumstances that a wife is not questioned. It doesn't matter what the narratives say. How do we know that what she said is the truth? How do we know that? That's her word, but there's no other word to give her pushback. She must get proper pushback when it comes to this case. You understand? Let's check this out and review these particular things. We got to review these things, ladies and gentlemen. So let me see what the chat is saying, what's going on. And again, if you sent me any information or whatever the case is, I'm not being rude or anything. I'm just, I'm very passionate about what I'm doing. All right. So if you send me anything, I appreciate you taking that time out of your busy schedule in life to send anything regarding whatever stories is needed to be talked about. At the same time, I want to find out what people are saying in the chat. Now, this is what I want. I want only, listen carefully now, only, repeat, only the people that believe she's innocent, the people that believe she didn't do nothing. I only want you to comment, right? I only want you to comment and pretty much respond to what I'm saying. Not the people who believe she did it or may have done it. I want to find out who believe with a show of a one that the wife is innocent and she didn't do nothing. I want to know who's who. I want to know what the audience is saying, what the people are saying, so I can ask the questions. That way everybody can get their share on what they feel or what they think. That way we can engage and have a discussion, right? Only one brave person? Let me see. Only one person believes she's innocent. Only one? So there's no brave souls. Let me see. Again, I just wanted one group of people to comment, not everybody else to say their part. We'll get to you shortly. I want to know from the people that believe that she didn't do nothing, or at least that's what you believe. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 people that believe. And again, the instructions was to put a 1. I'm not reading no comments. I'm just focusing on the ones. The ones are the only things that I'm looking at to show the people that believe she's innocent that she ain't do anything. Now, to the people that post the ones, whether you're a male or female, we're not, focusing on gender. We're just going to assume you're a woman, right? Because we want to have the discussion. Twitch is your husband. To all the people that put a 1, whether you're male or female, let's not do no funny stuff. We're just having a discussion. You're a female. Twitch is your husband. He turns up at this motel, delete it. Are you telling me that as a wife that been with him for 9 years, you just celebrated your 9th year anniversary on the Saturday before he deleted himself? Are you telling me that you accept this? Because remember, folks, you put a 1, which means you don't believe that the wife have any involvement. So, okay. So as a wife, you accept the fact that he did it. That's what you're basically telling me. Listen, to everybody that put a 1, you are basically saying that you accept that your husband deleted himself. That's what you're saying. See that? That's crazy. Because if Twitch is such a great guy, full of life, full of happiness, and the wife made all of these posts on social media about he's the backbone and how he's this and that, why would he delete himself? Why would he do that? It doesn't make any sense. Right? You understand? Again, if Twitch was your husband and you found out this news, are you going to be so accepting that he did this? Or are you going to fight for him? Because if you believe that the wife is innocent, that is to say that if you were Twitch's wife, you would just accept what he did, allegedly. Because here's the thing. If you're a woman and you put a 1, and then you say you're going to fight for him, right? That contradicts your whole point of believing that she's not involved. That would contradict the whole purpose of everything. What I'm trying to show you is the truth. If you are his wife and this happened to Twitch, because I don't think you're understanding exactly what I'm saying. I asked the question, do you believe that the wife is innocent and have no involvement in what happened to him? If you put a 1, you're saying that she's in the clear, right? So now I flipped that and I'm giving you pushback. So if you're the wife, are you just going to accept that he did that and not fight? If you say you're going to fight, it's not making sense. Because you accept number 1, that he did what he did, but yet you're willing to fight for him now? Doesn't make any sense. And again, it's like people are not paying attention. Anyone else that I see that posts the S word in the chat, I'm going to ban you. Anybody else that posts the S word in the chat, I'm going to block you from the platform automatically. You understand? Use the word delete. Don't post the S word in my chat. If I see anybody post the S word, I'm going to block you. I'm not a moderator. I'm the host. I'm just going to block you. You understand? Because I don't have time to keep going back and forth with the chat over stuff. We're adults. You understand? We're adults. I'm trying to speak to the people and do my job. When you do things like that, it's throwing me off. I got to go do this. I got to put out fires. I got to go click deletes. I got to do all this extra work that I don't need to be doing right now. Right? So now, if you are a person who believes that the wife was not involved and she didn't do anything, then at the same time, if you believe she ain't do anything, you're basically saying that you would accept what he did. So you cannot come back and say you would fight for him, because that would make no sense. What are you fighting for him for? Do you see how I was able to show that you really contradicted yourself? Let me say that slowly, because I don't think you understood. The question, do you believe that Twitch's wife was involved in him deleting himself, or possibly a cover-up or something involvement? If you say no, I believe she's innocent, and then I turn around and say, okay, now that you believe she's innocent and she didn't do nothing wrong, right? That would mean that you accept, as a wife, you accept what he did. So if you accept what he did, why would you be fighting for justice if you believe he did it? It makes no sense. It's actually a trick question. That's right. It's a trick question. Because if you believe she have no involvement, you're saying that she's innocent. We can't question her. We can't question her because you believe she's innocent. So we can't hold her accountable. So that means you accept the narrative. You accept the narrative that he deleted himself. So here's the thing. If you accept the narrative that he deleted himself, right, then you don't believe in getting any justice for Twitch. So why are you here? Why are you here? That means that those of you who believe that the story that they put out about him is true, you're not really here for justice for Twitch. You're here to promote and fight for the fact that he deleted himself. To the moderators, anybody that posts the S word, just block them. Just block them. Anybody that posts the S word, block them. You understand? Just block them, get them up on out of here. Because it's like people are not paying attention. People are just not paying attention. Right? So now, let me put a little tag at the top of the screen so that the next person can read, even though I know that most people are not going to read. All right, let me see. Let me do this real quick. Now, once I post this, anybody else that come in afterwards, you're just gonna get blocked. It's just that simple. No timeout for them either. Just block them. Right? Because I have no time to play games. Right? So now I'm pinning this message to the top. So if you don't read that, you're just going to get blocked. Period. I don't have no time to entertain that. And I don't like blocking people. But when you violating and disrespecting, we're just going to have to get you up on out of here. You have to understand this is social media. And the algorithm is triggered by certain words. That affects me. And I'm not going to tolerate that. Right? So if you can't read, you're just going to get blocked. Now, let's get to the message and find out what's going on. The message that the wife put out there doesn't make any logical sense. It sounds like the type of message that a wife put out when there's an argument. Why there is no investigation on what went on in that house the night before all of this happened? Why the police didn't ask the children? Normally, let me tell you something, man. This is how you know that this is fake. This is how you know it's fake. This is how you know it's fake. This is how you know the situation is fake. Anytime there is a domestic issue in a household, do you not know the police ask the children, is everything okay? Do you not know the police ask the children? The police will knock the door and they'll ask the children, is everything okay? Is mommy and daddy okay? You could come talk to me. Oh, mommy and daddy, they were arguing. That's what they do. You understand? That's what they do. And that's what happens. So why the police didn't ask the family, the children? I mean, they have an elder daughter. You gonna tell me the elder daughter don't know? You know, she had that daughter from another relationship. You gonna tell me that she don't know what went on in that house? Come on, man. They gave her a pass, ladies and gentlemen. The standard procedures is the wife should always be held accountable. Even if she didn't do it, she has to be questioned. They don't just, take her story and just say, okay, your husband is missing. Let's go look for him. You don't got no involvement. No. Mm-mm. Not when it comes to situations like this. You must ask the wife. She have a lot to gain from this, people. So let's look at the story. Let's find out what's going on. We'll ask the chat more questions later on, find out what's going on. Again, read the pinned message at the top. Do not violate, right? Now, let's break this thing down. Let me open this thing up some more so you can see it. It says DJ Stefan, Twitch boss, wife, was adamant with cops Tuesday morning. Now think about that. The wife was adamant with cops on Tuesday morning. She knew something was terribly wrong. How could she know something was terribly wrong? If the police is in on the plan, you would have to provide what kind of information can substantiate that. What do they stand to gain? What's the motive? Do she have any relatives that are in law enforcement? These are the type of things that you would have to investigate. Do the wife have any relatives that are connected to the LAPD? Do she have anybody that's in law enforcement in high places? If she do, then now your comment, we're going to have to look into that one. You understand? I'm just saying, because if she have relatives, or at least a cousin, uncle, or whoever, or if she have more than one relative that works for that precinct or whatever the case is, then it could be a situation where it could be a conflict of interest. Because if you're going down to the station and your uncle works there, your cousin, that's not really it doesn't look good. Now we're going to have to investigate. It's going to have an internal investigation now, because if the officer that came to her house was a cousin, then I question everything. Because the cousin should not be going to his family member's house to check to see if she's okay. You understand? So the comment that you brought up, it could have some truth to that. But we're going to have to investigate a little bit more and find out. And there's no way for me to know that. I'm not close to them like that to know if she have law enforcement in her family. But it goes on and it says that she knew something was terribly wrong. How could she know that? And notice her excuse for knowing something was terribly wrong was because he'd left home without warning and stopped all communication. Now, for her to say he stopped all communication doesn't make sense. What do you mean stopped all communication? What happened that made him stop all communication? What happened? What do you mean? What do you mean? Because the story she's given is as if though Twitch just ran out the house, right? He just ran out the house and didn't say nothing to her. That doesn't sound normal unless you were mad about something. That means that it had to be an argument, something was said. It could have been a situation where she possibly told him, I'm leaving you, I want a divorce, I'm not happy in this marriage. You understand? It could have been a situation like that. But no, they told us that she went down to the police station. She didn't call them, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't call the police. She went down to the precinct. She didn't call them. She went down to the police station. Who does that? You never see people do stuff like that. You only do that when you are really scared and fearful about something. You understand? So, do she have family members that may be law enforcement? Wow, that would be something else if she do, right? Don't believe the smiles, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now. We have covered stories like this before. We talked about these type of issues. You see it in the news every day, where couples delete one another because of some issue. And it happens. What we're trying to uncover is the truth. Because I don't see how no one questioned the wife. No one brought her in for questioning. Nobody came to the house to question the children. Normally, you ask the children. For example, if there's a domestic issue and the cops come to the house, they'll ask the kids, was there an argument? And if the child says yes, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. You understand? Because it holds value when a child says yes. That means that this is an ongoing situation that must be addressed. And the cops are not going to leave until they resolve those issues, because somebody might end up getting deleted. This woman went down to the police station. She was adamant with the cops Tuesday morning. She knew something was terribly wrong, is what she was talking about. How she know? Because he left home without warning and stopped all communication. That means, ladies and gentlemen, they were communicating at first. Put it together, y'all. Put it together. Look, check this out. She said he left home without warning and stopped all communication. That means they were communicating at first, and then he stopped all communication. And why would he stop all communication? Why would he? That means they were talking back and forth. But then again, how do we know she's telling the truth about stopping all communications? This could be just a story she put out there. Remember, there's no proof that this is true. It's just her word. That's one side. Twitch is not here to defend himself on what really happened. That's why we gotta question this. Do you understand? The police and everybody just took her story and ran with it. And we don't got no other information regarding what really happened. We can't just do that, ladies and gentlemen. We have to uncover the truth. You understand? Who goes to a police station, to the cops, without calling on their cell phone? Who does that? Who goes to a police station and don't call first? You're supposed to call first. And if you're really concerned about your husband, you would definitely call. And you'll hear the kids in the background. She didn't do that. She went down to the police station. How do we know that she wasn't at the motel on that very same morning? How do we know that? How do we know that? What we need to find out is what is on the videotapes that was at the motel. I gave you the live stream yesterday. We discussed these issues. I showed you that the hotel had cameras in it. In the reception area, there's a camera. On the outside is a camera. On the sides of the buildings, there are cameras. Why we cannot see footage of Twitch arriving at the motel in the Uber? Somebody please tell me why we don't have that footage. Listen, with such a high-profile case like this, they brushed it under the rug so fast. They brushed this under the rug so quick, it's almost as if though this man never existed. Y'all can't see that? Y'all can't see that? We're talking about a guy that was known all over the internet. So you're not going to show us the last footage of Twitch walking into that motel? Normally they give you that. Normally they say, look, see, Twitch is walking in the motel. They didn't even give us that. So how do we know how do we know that this is true? How do we know the motel isn't involved? How do we know if she don't know people at the motel? These are things investigators have to get involved in. This is where the feds come involved. They would have to investigate these situations. You just don't take somebody and get rid of them, get rid of their story and close the case. His case was closed immediately. That's a sign of a cover-up, ladies and gentlemen. Complete cover-up. It goes on and it says, law enforcement sources tell TMZ when Allison Hawker entered a branch of the LAPD Tuesday to report Stephen missing. Notice, She went down to the LAPD station on Tuesday to report him missing. 24 hours didn't even pass yet. She was already done nervous. Why? 24 hours didn't even pass yet, but she already done went down there. Perfect timing, right? But she didn't call. Now keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't call not one time on the phone to call the police, but she went down to a precinct to report him missing. Who does that? Who does that? She stressed how out of character tWitch's disappearance was. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, you can't read between the lines. Notice, everything is what she said. We don't got no facts of this. tWitch is gone, so we don't know what his character is. Put it together, ladies and gentlemen. She stressed how out of character tWitch's disappearance was. Disappearance? What do you mean disappearance? You said he left the house unexpected, without warning. He just left. Look, she said, look at the top. She said because he'd left home without warning and stopped all communication. Now it goes on. She stressed how out of character tWitch's disappearance now was. It's a difference between leaving a home without warning from a so-called disappearance. A disappearance? Nah, something happened to this man. And she stressed how out of character tWitch's disappearance was. How come when he first left the home, she didn't say nothing? How come right after he left without warning, right, and stopped all communication, why she didn't call the police? Why she ain't call the police? Why she waited? Why she ain't call his mom, his brother, relatives, her mom, her father? Why? Why? But she stressed how out of character tWitch's disappearance was. No, you, Miss Halker, were out of character. Because a wife, if she recognized that her husband left without warning, she's going to call his family. She's going to call the police because the wife alarm in you should have already went off. If I'm pissed off about something and I storm out of my place, you going to tell me my wife might not, she ain't going to see and notice this? You going to tell me my kids ain't going to see and notice this and know that something ain't right? The first thing they're going to do is, what's the matter? What's going on? They're going to get on that phone. They're going to call my brother. They're going to call this one. They're going to call my cousin. They're going to call that one. They're going to call the police. Because a wife knows her husband. A wife knows his character. So her wife alarm should have already went off the moment he walked out that house. And how come she didn't see him jump in an Uber? It is said that he took an Uber to the motel. Why she didn't report that? Why she didn't tell the police when he left the house, he jumped in an Uber? She ain't say that. How did she, listen, how, it's not making sense, ladies and gentlemen, because she said that he didn't take his car. So that means when he stormed out of the house, she saw when he left and she saw that he did not take his car. You understand? And again, for everybody that's in the stream, everybody that's in the chat, remember to read the pinned message at the top. Very important. Do not post that S word in the chat. It's going to result in you getting blocked automatically. Do you understand? So, law enforcement sources tell TMZ, when Allison Hawker entered a branch of the LAPD Tuesday to report Stephen missing, she stressed how out of character tWitch's disappearance was. She told cops he just simply left their house. There was no argument or issues. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. There had to be an argument. There had to be an argument, ladies and gentlemen. There had to be an argument. Because she's telling the police all the right things to cover herself. And in order for her to say there was no argument or issues, somebody had to ask her the question. A woman is not just going to come out of her mouth and say, oh, he simply left our house. We weren't even arguing. Why would you even volunteer information? They didn't ask you a question yet. So that means that the police asked her the question. Was there a disturbance? Was there a domestic issue? Were you fighting that night? No, there was no argument or issue. Well, how do we know that? This is why there must be an investigation. You just can't take a woman's word for it. They gave her a pass. Listen, ladies, if you are with a man and you end up deleted in a hotel room and your man run down to a LAPD station talking about, she simply left the house. Was there an argument, sir? No, there was no argument or no issue. You think they're going to leave that man alone? They're not going to leave that man alone. That man is going to be questioned. They're going to come back to that house. They're going to question the husband. They're going to try to find out what was going on. Because why you ran down here as a man to tell us that your wife is missing? Why you ain't called the police? Why you ain't called them to come to your house? Because see, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I need for y'all to pay attention and think about this logically. The cops is supposed to come to your place of residence if you feel this way. Not you go down to a police station. Because to go down to the police station it's literally incriminating yourselves. Because you're basically saying, I know something happened and I know it as a fact. That's why I'm here in the flesh. Forget calling. I'm coming down here to report it because I know something happened to him. Right. She was preventing them from coming to the house. Yup. That's exactly what it was. Tamra, that's exactly what happened. She was preventing them from coming to the house and for the neighbors to see what's going on. Because now the neighbors would get involved and be like, hold up, I didn't see tWitch leave the house. Because neighbors are always watching. That's another thing. When something like this happened, normally the police ask the neighbors. Come on, man. Y'all got to look at this thing for what it is, man. When things like this happen, they normally also ask the neighbors in terms of what happened. They ask the neighbors, did you see anything strange, out of the ordinary? These are things that normally happen. Even if you have a house, they'll go across the street and they'll ask the residents across the street. They'll be like, did you hear anything? Did you see anything? Could we check your camera? Come on, man. What? Listen, this case with tWitch is a cover-up. There is no way around this, man. They covered this thing up. And she's being protected. And I'm just questioning the narrative. That's all I'm doing. I do not have to believe the narrative the media put out there. I'm a rational thinking man. And I think logically. And I'm not just going to go with what they tell me. She told cops he simply left their house. There was no argument or issue. And he wouldn't answer any of her calls. Why would your husband not answer any of your calls? So the day before that, he was answering your calls. The day before that, y'all post videos on TikTok. The day before that, y'all was celebrating your anniversary. You were doing all these things. And all of a sudden now, he's not answering your phone calls. Look. Sometimes people be in these marriages, man, and they do things for social media and then they just want out. And it seemed like one of those situations with her. It just seems like that. Like she just wanted to be out of it and go her way. Right? It goes on and it says, our law enforcement sources say that they accompanied, now notice this, ladies and gentlemen, our law enforcement sources say they then accompanied Allison back to the family's house. So they came back to the house. So why she didn't just call them on the phone so they could come to the house? Why? Why she didn't just pick up the phone and call them on her phone so they could just come to the house and she could talk to them there? Why would she go down to the precinct? That would be a red flag. It should be a red flag to law enforcement. Like, why would you, ma'am? Why would you come down to the police station? Did you do something to your husband? These are the things. Listen, if I was into law enforcement, I would be a heck of an investigator, officer, whatever. I'll be doing a damn good job. You understand? I'll crack these damn cases. I'll be like, ma'am, why you didn't call us? Because if you think about what they're saying, it says our law enforcement sources say they then accompanied Allison back to the family's home. While we're bringing her back, because think about this, they accompanied. So that means she was driving. She didn't necessarily walk. She most likely got in the family's car. Now that raises another question. How many cars do the tWitch family have at the property? How many cars do they have? Is it one family vehicle? Do they have a minivan because they got children? Which automobile did the wife use? Because it says that the law enforcement accompanied Allison back. So they basically were following her in her automobile back to the house. So my question is, if I'm an officer and I'm accompanied Allison back to the house, once we get out the car and we're at the property, I'm going to ask her, ma'am, why you didn't just call us so that we could just come here? Why you came down to the police station? Did you do something to your husband? Tell us. Did you do something? And I would ask her these questions so I can use my training, because officers are trained to ask certain questions. Even though you got some cops out there that might be foul, there are cops out there that do a good job. So shout out to those particular cops, the ones that really do their job. They're trained to ask certain questions that can make you jump. They could pull information out of you with certain questions, and they could judge your body language. So the officer was supposed to ask her, Allison, it just dawned on me. Why you didn't call us from your home so we could just come here? Why you came down to the precinct in your car? Isn't that wasting time? Why would you even do that? Doesn't even make no sense. Why would you do that? Why didn't you just call us from your home? Why do that? Because I was nervous. My husband, Allison, calm down. It's gonna be okay. We're here, but we need to know, and we need for you to be honest. Take a deep breath. I understand you might be nervous. Did your husband have a weapon on him? Do you have a gun in the home? Did he take a weapon with him? Did you do anything to him, Allison? I didn't do nothing to him. Why would you ask me that? Why would you accuse me of that? Right there, we got a red flag. You understand? Why you didn't call on that phone? That's a red flag, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Use your brain, y'all. Use your brain. Don't be afraid to use your brain. Don't be afraid. You have a right to think outside the box. You don't have to believe every news story you hear. Think outside the box. Be free. Be free for a change. You understand? They accompanied her. They accompanied her back to the residence. Our law enforcement sources say they then accompanied Allison back to the family's home, doing a brief check around the property for any video. Now notice that, ladies and gentlemen, any video, which means they got cameras. Allison have cameras. Any video or clues as to where he'd gone. Okay. So if the law enforcement went to the family's property, what did they find on the camera? And why it's not given to the public? Why the public don't see any footage of tWitch leaving the family house? Why? I'll tell you why. Because it could be a situation where Allison can say, allegedly, that her camera system was off. She can always scrub the cameras. She can scrub all of that info. Some systems will send footage to the clouds and they can gather it, but she could have deleted all of that, allegedly. She could have hid all of that info. Law enforcement went to the home looking for clues to find out where he'd gone. Why she didn't call the officers beforehand? She waited all this time to the next morning to do all of this. She could have did this from the night before. Because he left in the day. So she waited a whole day till night, till morning to go down to the police station. All of that time wasted that she could have acted so that the officers could have did their job. You gonna tell me there's not no foul play? Come on, y'all. Listen, if I went missing, my wife would go looking. If I stormed out the house, trust me, everybody in my family, friends, wherever, would get a phone call. Cops would be at the door. You understand? So I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. So it goes on and it says, we're told Allison was so insistent on how odd tWitch's behavior was. This is what she's doing. This is what she's telling the police, how his behavior was. Officers considered listing him as a critical missing persons case. You know why? Because the wife, she was so insistent about the situation. You understand? So insistent about the situation on how his behavior was so out of the ordinary. It literally made the officers escalate the situation. Are y'all seeing that? She was demanding that something be done. You understand? She was not leaving that precinct until they act. Does that sound like an innocent person? Not to me. That sounds like somebody that knows something happened to a man and their conscience is bothering them because they know he's in a room by himself and nobody knows. And this, to me, is the reason why everything played out the way it did. You understand? Because from when she went to the police to do all of this, we don't know if the cops was able to locate him at the hotel first, because the story claims that the hotel folks went to his room, and because he didn't come out, they entered the room, found him in the room, and, then they called the cops. Why the hotel didn't travel to the LAPD police station by vehicle and tell them what happened? It says that they called. So why is it that the hotel folks called the police, but Allison, she didn't call the police from her home? Instead, she left. Why? Could it be that she didn't want the cops to come there while the children was there? Because the children would have been questioned, and they would have questioned the children and asked what happened. So she really didn't have time to coach them. She really didn't have time to say anything. Listen, there's a lot of dirt that goes on in these households, man. I'm just trying to put all the pieces together, y'all. That's all I'm doing. So she was persistent. She was not letting up. You know what I mean? She was insistent. She was not letting it go until something happened. That's basically what she did. She was refusing to leave that police station until they went out there to look for her husband. But why she ain't do that the day before? Why the next day? Because she knew allegedly that the job was completed. The job was done. How do we know? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I asked the tough questions. How do we know the wife didn't pull the trigger? Allegedly. How do we know she didn't do it? How do we know she didn't do it? Again, show me the footage. Show me the footage of the motel. Because remember, I showed you it yesterday in terms of the layout of the motel. And I told you earlier in this stream, a lot of times when guys or women are hooking up at a motel, they normally do not go to the hotel at the same time. As a couple, they don't walk in there like that. Normally the woman would book the room and then she'll give the guy the key to come to the room. He'll just have to walk in the hotel. He don't got to go to the desk. He don't got to do nothing. He can just walk up to the room. Or sometime the man would book the room with his credit card and he'll give the woman the key and she'll just come up to the room late at night. They never go there together. So it could be a situation where Twitch may have booked the room because it was right down the street, a half a mile away from the home, and maybe they just wanted to have a discussion about some issues that's going on, and for whatever reason, it could be a situation where the wife allegedly may have brought a weapon, and for whatever the case is, she may have did the job, allegedly. And by, I say, allegedly, she may not have walked through the reception door because she ain't have to. Twitch already got the key, and she already got the key. All she had to do is just come around the side and go right to his room with no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we showed you this yesterday. We showed you the layout of the so-called hotel. I gave you some images. Let me see if I can put an image of the layout, right? This right here is a layout of the hotel, right? This is a layout, right? You see how that is? You see the parking lot? You see the street? Anybody can come, pull up, drive in, park their car, and go to the room. And they don't even have to go to the reception desk. They don't have to. Y'all know how this is with hotels. You could walk into a hotel and have the key to whatever room whoever's in, and you don't have to ask or talk to nobody. It's all about privacy. And that could have been a situation that happened. You understand? We talked about all these different situations. We show you the layout. Again, more evidence for you in case you didn't watch my stream from yesterday. You see the parking lot? That's how the layout is at the hotel. It's being said that Twitch was probably in the hotel room that have the 2 stories, because I believe they showed what room. So you have to walk up some stairs. So where you see the car in the video, that area there is most likely where Twitch was, in one of those rooms on the top 2nd floor area. But then again, it could have been on the lower floors. I don't know, because they show certain rooms in the news videos, but you don't know what room it was in. But I believe they said it was 249. Anybody can drive a car and just walk in and go to the room. That's what I'm trying to show you. Anybody could have went up there and did the job. Right? So we're trying to bring out the truth so that you all can understand what's going on. Here's the receptions area, right? Bring this out for you. You see this? Twitch walked in there. If he, in fact, got a room, he had to walk in there. But now look, check this out. See the camera on the wall? Look at the camera right there. You see that? Wow. The camera is right on the wall, watching everything. So, where's the footage of Twitch entering the motel? Where's the footage? We talked about this yesterday. Where's the footage of him entering the motel so that we can see? He had to walk in through that door right there. That was the last door that Twitch ever walked in, allegedly. Right there. So all I'm asking is, where's the footage of him walking in? Whenever somebody, look, ladies and gentlemen, you're all familiar with the situation with Quavo when him and Saweetie was arguing and fighting in the elevator. That elevator scene is the same elevator scene that's in the Messy video. When you saw him with the orange briefcase or whatever the case is, that's the same scene. So in the Messy video, when you see the orange case with him in the elevator, that's the same scene of when him and Saweetie was fighting. Notice how they put the footage out there of Quavo fighting and arguing with Saweetie in the elevator. They gave us that footage, right? Anytime there's a crime committed, they show us footage of them walking in a convenience store or walking past a convenience store. But in the case of Twitch, where is the footage of him walking into the motel? Where is that footage, ladies and gentlemen? Why we don't have that? Yeah. Let me see. And another thing that's really alarming, ladies and gentlemen, this was a basic rundown cheap motel. We're talking about Twitch got money. You know what I mean? He went to a regular sleazy hotel, and when I say sleazy, it's no disrespect. It's just one of them type of hotels you just crash for the night. Or a hotel where you just going, to bring a chick over or whatever the case is, It's not the type of hotel where an influencer or a celebrity goes or whatever the case is. Not that he was a celebrity or anything, but the point is he was popular. So why would a guy with money go to a regular old hotel? Somebody said, well, because he wanted to delete himself. That wouldn't make any sense. He could have did that in his house. He could have did that in his garage. He could have went in his car and did it. This doesn't make sense. Something happened. He was meeting someone there. There was a conversation. Something went wrong. A gun was used. And it was made to look like he did it. Anybody can make anybody look like they did it. Anybody can make anybody look like they deleted themselves. If Twitch had a gun, it would be the gun that's from the family's house. So why the police didn't ask Allison, did he take his gun? Did he have a gun? Check the gun case. See, nobody checked this. Nobody talked about this. There's no questions. I'm asking all the right questions. Did she do it? Listen, all I'm trying to do is educate the community, find out what the people are saying, let you post your chats, your comments, because other people are going to read them when the stream is over. And I want the people that are involved in the cover-up to be very uncomfortable. I want them to know that there are people out here that think outside the box. Twitch had too much going for himself to delete himself. I watched some of his videos today on his IG of him dressing up like, what is that superhero? Where Twitch was talking about during the pandemic, the kids were home, everybody was home, and he was talking about how you have to keep your kids occupied. This guy dressed up like a superhero with his son to play. You mean to tell me that a guy that did all of that, just somehow deleted himself? Nah. That's crazy, man. Doesn't make any sense. This is sad, man. A guy that plays with his children as a superhero. How many guys do that? How many fathers take the time to put on a costume and make their children smile? You think he's going to delete himself? No, somebody did that. And they want it to go down in history that this is what he did. No, he didn't. He did not do this. Somebody else did this to this man. And I'm telling you, under normal circumstances, the wife would be the first suspect. No matter if you believe she's innocent or not, they always hold the spouse as a suspect. Anytime there is an issue, they're going to hold the spouse as a suspect. Always. If something happened to my wife and I'm home, and I have to call the police, they're going to ask me 1,000 questions. They're going to ask me, how did she get that knife in her body? You think I'm going to be able to talk my way out of that easy? Listen, they're going to grill me. If something happened to me, they're going to grill her. They always go after whoever is in that house. That's just how it works. So all I'm asking is, why they didn't go through the proper procedures of questioning the wife? Why? Under normal circumstances, this is what happened. This is proper procedures. Were they fighting? Do they have a history of domestic issues? Let's talk to the children, to the elder daughter. Was tWitch and your mom arguing? Do they have a history of arguing? Have you ever seen them arguing in the house? We need to know. Well, they did have a lot of arguments, and I really didn't like it. It was a lot of yelling. And you see, once you say all of that now, it's going to now give the police and everybody what they need to pursue whatever action is needed. That means that there was an argument, allegedly, because we can't take what the wife said as a fact. We got to question it. You know, we're told Allison was so insistent on how odd tWitch's behavior was, officers considered listing him as a critical missing persons case. That's crazy. And it was all because of her. She was so insistent. It goes on and it says, however, as TMZ first reported, a 911 call came in shortly after. Now, come on, people. Come on, people. Listen, people. If you can't see it, if you can't see it, ladies and gentlemen, listen, if you can't see what I just said, look what it says. We're told Allison, well, we read that part already. Listen, however, wait, let me see. Oh, yeah. However, as TMZ first reported, listen, a 911 call came in shortly after Allison's contact with cops. Y'all can't see this is a cover-up? Y'all can't see that they playing with us? Y'all can't see? So you mean to tell me, right after Allison contact the police, shortly after, then there's a 911 call? Now that really makes her story looks juicy now, right? Are y'all seeing that? Now, what a coincidence. Do you see now, ladies and gentlemen, why I do these videos? Because a lot of people are like, why you keep talking about this? Why you keep making videos about this? Because I can. Because the more you talk about it, the more you uncover the truth. It says that a 911 call came in shortly after Allison's contact with cops, saying tWitch's body had been discovered at a motel less than a mile from his home. The DJ and TV host was deleted by self-inflicted gunshots. So right after her contact with the cops, coincidentally, they get a phone call from the motel. Now, what are the odds of that, ladies and gentlemen? Now, doesn't that make her look suspect? But yet the police not questioning her? It's perfect timing. It's almost like right after they did the job, they told her, allegedly, go to the police station, make that report face to face, and then while you're talking to them, while you're accompanying them back to your home, all of a sudden now, they get another phone call. Come on, man. The odds of that happening, man, it's too perfect. The perfect crime. It goes on. It goes on and it says, we spoke with staffers at the motel who said Stefan checked in Monday morning with a small bag. Okay, he checked in with a small bag. Are they assuming? And first of all, why would he have a small bag? So you're staying at a motel and you're taking a bag, but you're planning to delete yourself? Why would you take a bag for? Why would you take a small bag with you for? That's what a person do when they stay in the night. In terms of they're going to change their clothes, they're going to have their toothbrush, their toothpaste, stuff like that. Why would you take a backpack? Because they said a small bag, not a pouch. And if a person was carrying a gun, you don't even need a bag for that. You could just carry the damn gun on you. And how did he get a gun into a motel? That's a whole nother story. You see what I mean? A lot of motels got a lot of security. I'm just letting you know. They got a lot of security things going on. But hey, this is what they want you to believe, right? This is what they want you to believe. So it says that particular morning, he checked in Monday morning with a small bag and booked just a single night. So he got there in the morning. And the whole morning while he was there, the wife didn't call his family. The wife didn't call the police. The wife didn't say, oh, his character is out of the ordinary. His wife didn't say anything. For the whole morning now. And then in the night, the wife was with the children. She didn't tell the police anything. Nothing. So that means Twitch was there at the motel from the morning all the way to the night, and then they found him in the morning. So all of that time was wasted, and the wife wasn't even thinking about calling the police or his family. Y'all can't see something's wrong? You understand? And normally they show us pictures of the bag. If he had a small bag with him, where's the bag? Where's photos of the bag? And why would a man that's going to delete himself take a bag? For what? Ain't no need of it. Why would we take that? Why would you pay for an Uber? Just drive your car and leave it in the lot. Why do that? Doesn't make sense. You're just wasting money. And why they said that he put his phone on airplane mode so no one can track him or contact him. But yet he paid for a so-called Uber. Right? That's what they want you to believe. So it says the staffers told us Stefan did not seem visibly upset. Well, if he didn't seem visibly upset, why are we so quick to believe the narrative? If he wasn't upset, that means he was there for a purpose. And if he was there, where is the footage? Where's the footage? And his body was discovered Tuesday after he failed to check out on time. This is what they're saying. It goes on and it says, celebrity and fans tribute continue to pour in for Twitch from people like Justin Timberlake, who knew Twitch for over 20 years, and Ellen DeGeneres, who called him pure love and light. That's what they put out, ladies and gentlemen. Here's more, right? Let's look at this. It goes on to say, in addressing her husband's death, Allison said, Stefan lit up every room. Now think about this, ladies and gentlemen. The wife made this statement. This is her public statement after he's dead. She's already talking to the media. Think about that, and let's listen to her words. Allison said, Stefan lit up every room he stepped into. He valued family, friends, and community above all else, and leading with love and light was everything to him. Now think about that, ladies and gentlemen. If that's true, if Stefan valued family, why would he do this? You see that? That's crazy. Somebody said in the chat, they used the words he said in a 2017 interview about past challenges and something else. And yes, I believe she is in on it. Shout out to Paula. Appreciate that. If you have any info about any 2017 interview of him talking about past challenges, I need that interview. You can send that to Instagram at RingoTv Raw. I need that interview. You said it's from 2017. Whatever information regarding that, I need to see that, because if they're using words from a 2017 interview, then that's crazy, because it's like this is all scripted. That means it's not real. It's all fake. And this is why we need people doing these kinds of videos, because the public needs to hear this. The public needs to know the truth. His fans need to know the truth, because she haven't done anything for the fans up to now. We haven't heard nothing about a funeral. No funeral arrangements. I haven't heard nothing yet. And normally they'll get down to business with the funeral. You know? I mean, what are they going to do? The mother would want to, have a funeral for her son, right? So where's the funeral? So the fans can... We've seen this happen for Shanquella. Shanquella had a big funeral. They did a lot for her. A lot of people came out. We saw rapper Takeoff. They had a funeral thing at the stadium, even though I don't agree with certain things that happened regarding that. So where is the funeral in this case? Where is it? Where's the service at? You see? There's no service. There's nothing. So what's really going on? So again, ladies and gentlemen, in addressing her husband's death, Allison said Stefan lit up every room he stepped into. He valued family, friends, and community above all else, and leading with love and light was everything to him. Notice, everything is love and light, right? Love and light. And we can also see, what is this woman name? DeGeneres. Let me see if I can pull that up. DeGeneres post something. If you notice right here, it says DeGeneres, who called him pure love and light. You see that? DeGeneres called him pure love and light. So now let's look at what the wife called him. She said at the top there, it says, above all else and leading with love and light was everything to him. Do you see how they all saying the same thing? You see how that is? And if you think about it, when you connect the love and light, I can go deeper into the spiritual connection with that. Have a lot to do with the light bearer, some sort of Luciferian thing, but I'm not going to go into that right now. I'll lose a lot of you because you're just not, you may not understand what I will be saying. So I'm going to leave it alone for now. Might do that another time. But this is real serious stuff. He's love and light. With love and light was everything to him. She continued, he was the backbone of our family, the best husband and father, and an inspiration to his fans. To say he left a legacy would be an understatement. Who talks like this after their husband died? Who talks like that? You understand? The reason why with this whole love and light thing, it goes into a sacrifice. And again, a lot of people are just not keen to all of these different things. I would rather just save that for another video where I can put it together. Right now, I'm trying to stay on focus on the issue of she did it. I can go into various other concepts of different things, but like I said, if I do that, it's going to take me away from what I'm doing. So we'll do that in another video. This right here speaks a lot because she's saying that he was the backbone of our family, the best husband and father, and an inspiration to his fans. Well, if he's an inspiration to his fans, if he's all of these different things, why would he delete himself? It contradicts his character. Remember, she told the police that he was out of character, that him leaving the house was out of character. This is what she told the police, that his behavior was not like him. But she just said that he was an inspiration. He was the backbone of our family, the best husband and father. Why would the best husband, the best father, and an inspiration to his fans delete himself? You understand? It makes no sense. You understand? That wouldn't even make sense to do. Because all you're doing is putting yourself at risk. All you're doing is getting rid of yourself, which is going to cause more problems for your family. You not being here, how is that going to help your family if you're no longer here? How is that going to help your family if you're the best husband and the best father? You're not helping your kids no more. You see? That's a problem. So it goes on and it says, and again, I don't think that the wife wrote all of this. This had to be a PR person, because this does not sound like a woman that is hurting the loss of her so-called husband. It doesn't sound like, she's hurting right now. It doesn't. He was the backbone of our family, the best husband and father, and an inspiration to his fans. To say he left a legacy would be an understatement. What about his legacy? What is she doing for his legacy? Because his legacy has been tarnished due to what he did to himself. Come on, that's not... Listen, the words that his wife is speaking at this point is not the kind of words you give for a man that delete himself. I'm sorry, but you don't give those kind of words. You do not utter these words for a man that delete himself. You don't do that. Those are the kind of words that you give a man who may have passed away due to natural causes, or he may have had a freak accident, some sort of issue, and he passed away, and now you're honoring him. But when a man delete himself, that's not the type of words you say, because it doesn't give him no honor. It doesn't give him no honor. You cannot say to say he left a legacy would be an understatement, and his positive impact will continue to be felt. That does not sound good for a man that deletes himself. It destroys his legacy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too smart for my good. But, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. Let me use myself, right? If I gave you nothing but positive messages, encouraging you to be a better person, telling you to fight through all your struggles, teaching you about this, empowering the people, donating to people, doing this, doing that. I'm doing so much things, pouring out, giving everybody love and being compassionate and this and that. And I'm telling you everything, all the great stuff, showing myself to be a great father, this and that, teaching black men how to be good fathers, teaching white men to be good fathers, teaching women how to be good wives. And I'm doing all of this stuff for the community. All of this good stuff, right? And then you hear on the news, Ringo deleted himself.